After yesterday's crypto dump, is the altcoin season on pause, or is this just a dip before the next massive pump? We also have 5 altcoins we think are primed and ready to go, plus what's happening to Ethereum in just 19 days. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz IO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. All right, good morning, guys. So Bitcoin is hovering just under $119,000. But before we get started, I actually wanted to share with you guys, we just added a bunch of language dubs to our videos. So if you're in a different country and maybe English is your second language, or you just prefer to listen into a different language, if you're in India, we know we have a lot of viewers there who would prefer maybe in Hindi. We also have Spanish, Portuguese, Polish, Japanese, which is my favorite to listen to. This is just amazing. So if you are in a different country, check to see if your language is here, and if you prefer to listen to it in that, we're going to be adding more as well. But we've done French, German, Hindi, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Polish, Portuguese, and Spanish so far. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below, and if this helps you guys out. All right, so starting off today, we are hovering just under 119,000 after a pretty big sell-off yesterday. So Bitcoin didn't sell off that much, but altcoins did. So Bitcoin, it dumped down towards around $117,000, but altcoins just took a massive dump yesterday. They went down maybe 10 to 20% depending on the altcoin. Solana was one of them. Really sold off heavily and now starting to come back a little bit. But pretty much what we're going to be talking about today is this the dump before the pump, or is this a bit of a longer correction we're about to see? And I think it's actually just more so a dip before the next big leg up. Based on these fractals here, I do still think we are going much higher very soon. I don't think we're going to be, consolidating here for very long. I think over the next week or so, we'll probably be heading towards new all-time highs on Bitcoin. I think altcoins will be following as well. And so we got 5 altcoins today that we're going to share with you and talk about, which we think are, primed for the next leg up. But starting off today, we have just in it, Trump to visit the Fed tomorrow, which is today. President Trump is scheduled to visit the Federal Reserve, sparking speculation about crypto rates and the 2025 policy, and if he's going to get fired, which he might be doing soon. We also have $905 million liquidated in 24 hours, over 300,000 traders wrecked, the best single wipeout, $2.96 million on Binance for Bitcoin alone. So we saw a huge sell-off yesterday, and this was to be expected because the funding rates had gone up so much, because usually when there's a lot of leverage in the system, the market needs to flush in order to get a lot of these longs out so that it can continue higher, and we had that flush yesterday. Now, we also have a Coin Bureau saying the Bitcoin rally is not retail. As per Crypto Quant, retail investors are selling, while institutions and whales keep accumulating. Smart money is driving this cycle. Watch closely. Now, moving on to our first altcoin today, we have Not Telling saying BNY, one of Ondo's TradFi partners, is partnering with Goldman Sachs on tokenized money market fund solutions, which is exactly what Ondo currently offers. Mark my words, Ondo is about to blow your mind with the launch of global markets coming very soon. So Ondo is one of the coins that is very primed to go. We also have Ondo Finance saying, as detailed in Messari Crypto's latest report, the tokenization of financial assets is no longer theoretical. Ondo's tokenized US Treasuries products alone have surpassed $1.4 billion since launching in 2023. And we also have Pyth Network saying, Pyth is bringing the price of everything to the Global Market Alliance. Pyth Network is excited to join Ondo Finance's expanding network of financial infrastructure partners, including wallets, exchanges, and custodians, to accelerate the development of on-chain capital markets. At the same time, the BNB chain recently joined Ondo Global Markets, and Binance US is ready to list Ondo. And there's also now officially an Ondo ETF in the works, so institutions are coming to Ondo. There was a filing just yesterday for an Ondo ETF. Now, Ondo has pretty much done what we've expected this whole time. Actually, if you look at this, we came up, and if you were in this trade, it just hit your take profit before selling off back to support again. We are looking pretty good here on Ondo. We had a nice sell-off, so pretty much this whole trade is over now. I do expect us to maybe hover around here a little bit today if Bitcoin wants to go sideways, but more likely I do expect this as one of the stronger alts to continue up higher. So because this is already kind of played out, unless we came back down here and we were holding around 92 cents, and then we were consolidating here, this could be another trade, but I think more likely what's going to happen is we're going to break through here. And so the next trade would really be somewhere above here, above 120. As I was saying, when we go from 93 up towards $1.17, it was going to happen very fast, and it really did. It just went straight to this level of resistance and then rejected. And so now I think the next trade is really above $1.20. If we can get a confirmation above here, I think the next trade from $1.20 back towards these highs around $1.61 is the next trade. This is kind of out of play now that it's already fully played out. So I think that's kind of the next level we're looking for Ondo. And then moving on to our second altcoin for Sui, we have Sui processed 65.6 billion stablecoin transfers last week, 14.7 billion more than Sol. The Sui network is now the number 2 chain behind Ethereum in stablecoin transfer volume. Sui has more stablecoin transfers than Aptos, Polygon, Avalanche, and Ton combined. And of course, Sui Flip Salon and monthly stablecoin transfers. And also, Sui daily active addresses pumped 505% last month. The adoption of the Sui network is growing every day. And then in tandem with Sui, we also have Walrus saying, today we're launching Quilt, a batch storage solution with initiative API for Walrus. Small file storage is now seamless, efficient, and Walrus native, built to support every kind of builder and every kind of data. So in just 3 months since the mainnet launch, Walrus now powers over 800 plus terabytes of encoded data across 14 million blobs used by projects like Pudgy Penguins, Ethereum, Unchained, and Decrypt Media, IONET, and 3DOS Network. But builders need more. Big files, Walrus crushed it. Small files, until now, developers had to manually bundle them to keep costs down. It worked, but added overhead, complexity, and dev time. We knew we could do better, so today we're launching Quilt, a new Walrus native API designed for high efficiency, small file storage. NFT collections, AI agent data, and short form social videos, Quilt is made for them all. Quilt is one step closer to a future where storing any kind of data on Walrus, big or small, is efficient, verifiable, and builder friendly. So that is Sui and Walrus. And Sui is actually looking really nice here as we are coming into this next level of support here. It's dipped down below and it is getting bought back up here. Now, this is kind of like on over here where it's kind of in the middle of this area. So unless we came back down here, this would be a nice level to long it somewhere around $3.58. But I'm not sure if we're going to totally get that if Bitcoin wants to go higher. But if we do, this is where I would long. Otherwise, I'd like to see it come back and hold above $4.08 on a daily close for the next level. Something like this, where if we close above here, because you see we haven't been able to close above it for quite some time here. If we close above here, this would be the next level of trade. Or if we came down here towards $3.56, another good level with stops below this consolidation area around $3.28. But Sui is looking very nice. I think we're gonna hit all-time highs on Sui pretty soon here. Once we get back a daily close above 408, I think we're going towards new all-time highs towards $5.30 very soon for Sui. Altcoins are up from the April lows, but mostly non-trending, and people are getting antsy for when the alt season will finally start. Sui is one of the select few who are at the heart of the growth in the current cycle, and it's quickly becoming one of the leading alts in the market and is up over 200% in the last 12 months. So let's check out why. Sui is killing it in all the big sectors it supports, like DeFi, where Sui nearly crossed $2 billion in TVL and is almost at $1.5 billion in record time. Sui has some of the fastest stablecoin growth of any chain, so people are using it for real transactions. Walrus is changing the game in decentralized data storage. Its token launch was a big hit, while Seal and Nautilus make things more secure and private. The Sui Play OX1 is coming in September and is now officially sold out with 10,000 pre-orders. Sui even has a small but growing meme coin market for meme coin lovers. If you haven't used Sui lately, then come give it a try and follow Sui's X account for all the latest updates linked down below. And then moving on to our third coin, we have Ethereum, and we have Everstake saying something big is happening in Ethereum staking. The Ethereum validator ExitQ just hit its highest level in over a year, more than 520,000 ETH. That's over $1.9 billion at current prices, lined up to leave. This ExitQ will take 19 days to fully clear. So this is actually not super bullish. It's kind of, what it is. As prices have gone up so much for Ethereum and people have been just staking Ethereum forever, they are trying to exit. As you can see, this huge spike in ExitQ, 520,000 ETH for $1.9 billion is trying to exit, so they could probably sell and they can, take profit on what's been a, stable coin for most of this market. So the ExitQ is lining up, and in 19 days, it will be fully clear, and, $1.9 billion could potentially hit the market for Ethereum, maybe, suppressing prices a little bit. So that is something to watch out for as well. But then in contrast, we have Ethereum ETFs have now seen inflows for 13 consecutive days for a total of more than $4 billion. So if we have $1.9 billion potentially being sold, we also still have $4 billion potentially being bought over the course of the last 2 weeks. So it might even out. And then we have SEC Chair Paul Atkins saying ETH is not a security. So he said this.
Yeah, well, so similar to Bitcoin, the SEC has stated informally more than formally that Ether is as not a security. And so, but it's obviously the ETH blockchain is very key component for a lot of other digital currencies. So, it's up to companies to decide where they want to put their money and what sort of strategy they have. Obviously, not for me to tell them, but I think it's encouraging that these sorts of digital assets are being embraced by the marketplace, and I think that provides a good future for development and further innovation.
Now, ETH had a slight pullback, but it actually looks like one of the strongest. We said, we probably come back down here towards this level here around 34-ish. We came down to pretty much 35, right around there. But we are starting to be bought back up pretty quickly right now. So ETH looks very strong. We'll have to see if this holds up and we can continue back higher. I'd like to see us break back above 37.50 to really start going again. Otherwise, it could just be, something like this where we head back down. But if we can get back above this level here around 37.50, that is very bullish. And I think we're probably going towards 4,000 very soon. I think that's the most likely scenario. I don't think this run is over. Bitcoin broke out from 112-ish. And we've only gone up to around 123 and we're hovering around 119. I don't think this, sprint that we're on right now is over. I do think we go towards higher prices. We go up here towards the mid 120s and maybe towards 130. So I think Ethereum is going to break towards $4,000 sooner than later. And so even though we do have 19 days for, 1.9 billion being sold off, I do think we still go higher in the near term. And then for our fourth coin, we have hbar holders. Are you paying attention? BlackRock, Fidelity, State Street just minted tokens on Hedera. Real names, real assets, real tokenization. This isn't speculation. This is world finance going on-chain. This could be the start of the RWA supercycle. So we have Hedera here, and we have this, he was replying to some very interesting tokens were just created on Hedera mainnet today, and they're looking like tokenized money market funds from Archax. The names include BlackRock, Fidelity, State Street, Aberdeen, LGIM, institutional RWA tokenization on Hedera could be about to ramp up. So very bullish news for hbar. Now, hbar, like the rest of the market, sold off pretty heavily yesterday. We came back down here. What I would like to see over the next couple of days is some kind of consolidation around here between 23 cents and around 25 cents. If we can consolidate here, this will be a nice little level, kind of like this right here, where we can then break through this level of resistance that we came up and tapped around 29, just about 30 cents here. Once we break above here, I think we're going towards these highs at 40 cents, which is this cycle's high so far. I do think we're going towards those very, very soon for hbar. But if we do break down below this consolidation here around 23, I think it is possible that we do come down here towards 19.5 cents again, which I wouldn't like to see, but I think is a possibility if Bitcoin continues to sell off, if Bitcoin takes these lows here down towards $115,000. So while it wouldn't be my favorite scenario, we could still completely come down here and still be in a bullish uptrend at 20 cents and then continue higher. So we'll have to see what happens with hbar. I think we'll consolidate over the next day or so after this sell-off. Usually we don't just V-reverse instantly. I know I say that sometimes and then we do V-reverse, but it's not always the case that we V-reverse. So I am looking for a little bit of consolidation over the next day or so, seeing if prices can hold at this level or if they want to continue to sell off at New York Open. If we can see some, holding at this level, then it's probably a pretty good area to bid across all these different altcoins. But if we sell off today, we're looking for the next levels of support across all of these altcoins. And then for our last altcoin today, which has been one of the strongest, we have Pudgy Penguins. So Pudgy Party, our competitive multiplayer game, is launching soon on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. We're giving away a total of $5,000 worth of pengu to 5 lucky people who retweet this and follow. So they have their Pudgy Penguins, mobile app game coming very soon. They've been launching a ton of stuff. We also have Rain saying the pengu chart is looking strong. We're seeing another breakout in progress. Still, Pudgy Penguins haven't made the huge announcement yet, the one that's supposedly even bigger than Fortnite. Just imagine when Pudgy Penguins finally reveals all these partnerships and the ETF, where could it go from here? It's entirely possible to see the price surpass $1. And in the long run, if you hold Pengu for 10 years, just imagine how far it could go. 10 years is a long time, but yeah, it definitely could go high. Then we also have Nathan saying Pudgy Penguins plus Pengu ETF. Are we about to see the moon? So Canary Capital filed for the Canary Pengu ETF earlier this year, which the SEC has acknowledged last week. The ETF comprised of roughly 90% Pengu tokens and 10% Pudgy Penguin NFTs. Subject to amendments, it could be approved as soon as August 23rd. This would be the first ETF to include NFTs, which would be extremely bullish for the entire Pudgy Penguins ecosystem. So Pengu has been one of the absolute strongest altcoins recently, just an insane run-up, came up to this level of resistance and then wicked towards it and then it's starting to sell off. But it looks like it's holding up pretty strong today. I do believe if we consolidate around this area, Anywhere above here, if we consolidate, we're probably breaking through here and going to make new all-time highs. Now, this was the listing high on Binance here around 69-ish, 70 cents or 7 cents. But I think this is the real high here around 46, around 0.046. So I think once we break above here, it's really clear skies to new all-time highs, really. So I think, any consolidation here is very bullish for Pengu. And it's going to continue to outperform pretty much the rest of the market. It is just one of the strongest coins right now, and definitely one to keep on your watch list during the day to trade any kind of consolidation around here. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see it continue to break down here. If we start breaking down below these lows here on the lower time frames, it's probably going to come back into this level of consolidation, which isn't terrible, but then it might just need a little bit of time before it continues back higher. So we don't want to see it break down below around 0.035. But if it does, it might just need a little bit more time, maybe a week or so, before it then continues higher and tries to break new all-time highs. So, and then lastly for today, we have Republic and Mawari enable U.S. node sale via licensed broker. So the global brokerage platform Republic, which played a role in the development of Avalanche, has partnered with Mawari, the DePIN for spatial computing. This union aims to bring new utility to the recently emerging type of fundraising, which is node sales. Republic is a private investing platform for alternative assets, and they have unveiled a strategic collaboration with Mawari, a company specializing in the extended reality, or XR, and decentralized physical infrastructure network, or DePIN space. The collaborative effort to release Mawari's decentralized infrastructure offering, or DIO, is also the first sale of a node of the Republic Launchpad, facilitated by Open Broker LLC, its affiliate. Republic customers will have exclusive access to Mawari's DIO a week before the public launch, and this infrastructure expansion is bolstered by the growing demand for AI-driven immersive content, with the market niche estimated to reach over $377 billion by 2030. Mawari technology is featured in projects for T-Mobile, Netflix, BMW, and KDDI. It's also scored a partnership with semiconductor giant Qualcomm and software development company Niantic. So that is Republic and Mawari's node sale, and that is the video for today, guys. As we are hovering around $18,500 on Bitcoin today, we are pretty much in just this consolidation here. We're in a range. We're in this level of chop. I think it's entirely possible at some point we come down here, take out these stops here below 115,700. But it is also possible that we continue higher before that. So I have limit bids set all throughout here below 150,000 if we do come down there. And that's what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. But it is entirely possible that it pumps and leaves my bids not taken and we just go higher. So that's what I'm looking for right now on Bitcoin. I think we are in a bullish time. I don't think, this, run up is over yet. I don't think we're just going to continue back down from here. But we might just need a couple days or so to recover as Bitcoin, is going sideways and altcoins are falling off a cliff. So that's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.